Friends, today's NRI Samay program from Los Angeles brought to you commercial free by listeners like you. Your generous donations make possible for us to stay commercial free, and today's show is pre-recorded. If you have a question for the guest, please send an email to nrisamay@gmail.com. We will follow up with the guest and find the answer for you. Thank you for your support.
My dad brought an electric bat that could potentially kill mosquitoes, and when it got worse, he put in a kind of mesh that can potentially block the entry of mosquitoes into the home. But a mosquito is a mosquito, and it always replicated and replicated so badly that we ended up each day scratching ourselves. I always used to wonder if there's anyone who can help us with this problem. So in my childhood, I used to see an auto that fogs the entire area. It was a dense fog that filled my home. It was fun, and as well as it solved the problem as well, the problem of the mosquitoes. Of late, I don't see this happening. So what is going on? Who can help? Are there any governance tools where citizens can report these sort of day-to-day problems? You know, bad roads, street lights that do not work, drainage system that doesn't work. Friends, my name is Srikant Kocharlakota, and I am from NRI Samay desk and in conversation with Ali Hussaini. And Ali is the best depiction of what power of citizen in democracy means. He works as a business analyst at Unisys Global Services India. He is also taking the lead in utilizing tools like RTI and governance redressal mechanisms to solve the day-to-day problems with civic amenities. The Facebook page of Ali Hussaini is facebook.com/ambitious Ali, AMBITIOUS Ali. So Ali, good to have you on our show. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Srikant. Hi.
Thank you. Ambitious Ali. What are you ambitious about, Ali?
Well, that username, that's my email ID as well. I chose it a couple of years ago, and those days I was thinking of becoming a doctor. And those were the days when I wanted to become a doctor, and I thought that was my ambition. And I chose a username that made me think about my ambition every day, that yes, I want to become a doctor. So I guess that's how the username came into being. And then later I guess I changed the track, and I moved into a complete different stream altogether. So that's how the ambitious Ali came into picture. But at this moment, my ambition, I would say, is to create more informed citizens like me who can engage with the system in a regular way, regular fashion, on a regular basis, so that the system that is completely rusted, starts functioning smoothly all over again, the way we want it, the way it serves our purposes better. That's the ambition that I have now.
Certainly, Ali, because when I see your Facebook page, you're extremely ambitious in solving citizens' problems. Of course, it's solving your own problems and also in turn solving citizens' problems. And above all, it's fantastic awareness. When I see your Facebook page, I was wondering, wow, there's a governance redressal system where Ali is filling all this, filling a lot of information, data, submitting it, and then getting written responses back. So that's incredible. Getting into this groove of this entire program, Ali, walk us through a little bit on your learning curve, before you becoming an activist, filing these RTIs and also using various grievance redressal mechanism tools. I wanted to really understand who motivated you and what are you motivated about? When I see your Facebook page, a lot of different causes that you work about. You talk about politics, you talk about, problems, you talk about solutions, you talk about RTI. So I was just seriously interested in understanding, walk us through your learning curve even before you becoming an activist doing all of this.
Well, I wasn't an activist as such, and I won't call myself an activist as well now. I would call myself an informed citizen, right? But it all started somewhere in in June or July 2012 when I was waiting for my corrected voter ID. Right, in January 2012, I applied for a correction of my voter ID. I waited for 6-7 months, and there was no action as such from Election Commission. The application status was showing under verification, and for 6 months the status did not change. I was wondering what's going on with these people. I mean, why would they take 6 months to correct a voter ID? I just needed my name to be corrected in it. So I was wondering what's going on here. So I went to the Election Commission's website. I checked the contact details. The Election Commissioner's phone number, the mobile number, was listed there. I picked up the phone, I called him, and I asked him, what's going on here? I mean, I applied for a correction. It's been 6 months. You guys did not even touch my application. What's going on? So he assured me, you know what, we'll look into it. Send me an SMS with the application ID. I'll look into it. I'll check what can be done. Okay, fine. I sent him an SMS. No action. 1 week gone, 2 weeks gone, 3 weeks gone, no action from him. Then I sent him an email with details of my application and a screenshot of the application and all that. So I waited for another 2 weeks, no action taken. Then I went to the website of the Central Election Commission. So all this while I was just referring to Election Commission's website for Andhra Pradesh. Then I went to the Central Election Commission's website. So there I obtained the details of the Central Election Commissioner. I guess it was S.Y. Qureshi. He was the Election Commissioner at that time. So I sent him an email copying the Election Commissioner of Andhra Pradesh saying, you know what, it's been 6-7 months. I applied for a correction and these people are not helping me. I didn't get a response. 1 week gone. Then I started sending chain mails, multiple chain mails, forward the same mail with a request to take an action. I guess after third or fourth follow-up, these people started contacting me from local election commission saying, you know, why do you have to escalate your simple issue of voter ID correction to Central Election Commission and all that? I guess they got good beating from their top bosses when I sent the mails to the top officials in Delhi, right? So that's where it all started. I was wondering, I mean, does everybody has to go through this to get a simple thing like a voter ID getting corrected? Just change the name in the voter ID has to take place. People have to go through all these hassles of waiting for 8 months or contacting these election officials and, you know, running around and all that. That's when that was the spark, I guess. That's where I started. That's where I thought, you know, this forced me to think. And for almost like a week, I was trying to understand how this election commission works. I mean, what is the escalation matrix and all that. So I worked in customer service for almost 5 years. So I had little understanding on escalations and all these things. So I started escalating this, right? So I got my voter ID finally after 8 months. So
wow, 8 months.
After 8 months, the village official, they came to my home and they delivered the voter ID. I mean, it's the other way around in other cases. Like, they ask you to go to their office and collect the voter ID. But in my case, after I escalated it to their top bosses, they came to my home and delivered the voter ID. I was like, okay, so it's like the top bosses matter a lot in these government departments, and their information is available on the website. And within next 1 month, I got the voter IDs of all my family members corrected. Simple, lodge, apply for a correction, wait for 15 days, no action taken, send a mail to all the top bosses, and these guys are in action. Yes, that was the spark. That was the spark, and that's where I started.
Excellent.
I would say.
Interesting, 8 months of rigorous effort on getting your own voter card is...
it's like, that's my right. Having a voter ID is my right.
No vote is no right? That's the bottom line. No vote is no right.
Are denying.
Yeah.
No vote, no right. That's true.
Friends, NRI Samay is a non-profit independent alternate media from Los Angeles, USA, which brings positive stories from grassroots activists from all corners of India and across the world. If you have any interesting episode you would like NRI Samay to cover, we will be happy to do so. NRI Samay would also like to encourage amateur journalists who have a flair for highlighting current events. You can be part of our citizen journalist team. You could cover an important event, interview victims of an atrocity, or document an inspirational story. The idea is to have a mix of experience throughout all parts of the world, preferably supported by an audio or a video clip of your story to be aired, which will be the curtain raiser. You can also submit your opinion articles on important topics to NRI Samay. We will be happy to put it on nrisamay.com in the opinion section. All your work will be credited only to you. And if you're interested, please send an email to nrisamay@gmail.com.
And
Yes.
Ali, this is something that I am interested to talk about. Two different things here. One is right to information, a fantastic tool, started off in 2006, of course, and slowly picked up pace, as you mentioned, activists like Rakesh and others who were educating on a day-to-day basis. And also, I also saw your Facebook post about grievance redressal websites that you basically use for. Tell us a little bit on how to wisely use these tools for problem solving. Of course, RTA is all about information and not about problem solving at the most. Of course, when people file RTIs, it might end up in a solution, but more of RTI is about information. Can you explain to me how to wisely use RTI, how a citizen can use an RTI, how a citizen can use grievance redressal mechanisms? So walk us through that, Ali.
See, I'll tell you a very simple mechanism. Okay, it's a very simple mechanism. The Section 4 of RTI has ensured that all the government departments, all the public authorities, keep information about their department structure, the hierarchy, the escalation matrix, and all that in public domain. And it's all computerized. A lot of information is available on website if you go to their particular department's website. So first we need to understand what is the escalation matrix of that particular department. So if you have a problem, for example, a road is not properly laid in my area, right? That's my simple problem. So all I do is find out who is responsible for it first. We need to know who is exactly responsible for it. So the municipal corporation is responsible. So try to find out if that particular department has a grievance redressal mechanism. That all these websites, all these government authorities have openly displayed grievance redressal mechanism if they have one, all right? Or there is something called citizen charter that also explains how the escalation process works, or how the issues are resolved and what citizens can demand from these departments. So once we go through the citizen charter or the grievance redressal mechanism, then we will get a fair idea as to how to proceed. So the municipal corporation has a website where you can go and lodge a grievance, and the concerned official will work on it. So that's the basic methodology that we should apply when we want something to be done, right? And if the issue is not getting resolved, then we can submit a petition to the higher officials. Submit a petition to the higher officials seeking their help or intervention. Wait for a week. File an RTI. This is where RTI comes into picture. So you have a grievance, you go to a particular department, you submit your grievance in writing saying, you know what, I have this so-and-so problem, I need so-and-so help. And then you wait for a week, and then wait for a week or two. Then you file an RTI seeking details of action taken on your grievance, action taken on your application, right? That's where RTI comes into picture. So you file an RTI application with that particular department seeking details of action taken on your application. And once you file an RTI, I guess the department immediately gets into action and they immediately act on your complaint. That's how I have been using the RTI with regards to the grievance redressal. It's a very simple concept. You have a problem, you file an application with them seeking help or seeking redressal of that problem, wait for a week, no action taken, then you just file an RTI application. And I guess once you file an RTI application, things will start rolling.
Excellent. So, I'm trying to summarize this. So, basically, inconvenience is not just a choice, right? It is something that a person has come to a conclusion that nothing works, and he better look out his own way to deal with it, right? Take the case of mosquito problem that I've been talking about. So what can one do in those cases, right? If people are educated about how these problems can be taken up to the right authorities, and I'm sure there are people out there who react, respond, and get things done. And I'm seeing on your Facebook page as well. There are a few cases where you SMS and then they respond back. So summarizing the whole thing that you told about, if you are in a situation where you see a basic civic immunity broken, like mosquitoes ripping me apart when I was there. So what is the first basic thing that you do? As a summary, I'm just asking. You already mentioned what you do, but what's the first thing? You saw that something is broken, pothole, or mosquitoes biting, or doing something. What's the first basic thing you do, Ali?
So the first thing is to go into their website and lodge a complaint. And the Municipal Corporation of Hyderabad has such a system that you lodge a complaint, you get an SMS immediately on your mobile number with a complaint number and the phone number of the concerned official who is responsible for it. So you know who is exactly responsible for your complaint. His name and mobile number is SMS to you. So call him up and ask him that, you know, what's going on? I have come to this area and this is the problem. What's going on? If the official gives you a clear idea of what's going on, then try to take it up with the next level if he's helpless. But in certain cases, the lower level employees are helpless. They might need, some additional help from their bosses, but their bosses are not helping them. Like, for example, I'll give you a recent classic example, that SMS thing that you spoke about, right? Yeah. So there was an open plot in my area. People were dumping garbage and the construction residue, I would call it, into that open plot, right? Over a period of time, like 2-3 months, that clean open plot became a complete mess. People were dumping garbage after garbage and no cleaning was happening. So I raised a complaint and then I spoke to the concerned sanitary officer of my area, okay? And he said, boss, I don't have vehicles to remove the garbage. I'm helpless. I was like, how come you don't have vehicles? He said, we don't have vehicles and I'm not getting any help from my superiors as well. So then I took it to the next level. I spoke to his superior, additional commissioner of health and sanitation. I asked him what's going on, and we need vehicles to remove the garbage. It's an issue here. It's creating complete unhygienic environment in my neighborhood and I want that to be clean. So he gave me another excuse that we don't have vehicles at this moment, gave me 1 week's time, 2 weeks' time. So I waited for a week and there was no action. So I wanted to take the campaign to the next level. I posted it on my wall. I requested my friends to start sending an SMS to commissioner and other top officials in GHMC, right? So the municipal corporation has a simple structure. You have a commissioner on top, below him there are additional commissioners, deputy commissioners, zonal commissioners and all these guys. So around 75 friends have sent a simple SMS to the commissioner, right? So the same day around 75 people sent an SMS asking him to act on it, and it was like too much public pressure on him. The next day morning around 7 o'clock in the morning, early morning, the sanitary supervisor calls me and he's like begging me, please stop that SMS campaign. I will arrange a vehicle immediately and I'll get that removed.
Wow. Interesting.
So in next 2 days, there was this Ganesh Chaturthi. They diverted one of the vehicles that was allotted for Ganesh Chaturthi and they removed that entire garbage and it was completely clean. And sometimes we need to come up with these kind of innovative ideas to get things done. And sometimes the lower level employees are helpless. They don't get the support they need to perform their duties well. So we have to go to the superiors and exert some pressure on them to ensure that things are smooth. And I understood here that the problem of vehicle not being available was not the problem of the lower level employee. It was not being arranged by the additional commissioner himself. It's his responsibility to arrange the vehicle, and he was not doing that.
Right, right. Wow.
So it's a case-to-case basis, I would say, but generally it's a simple thing. First, you approach the lower level employees, check whether they can resolve it or not, and if they cannot, take it to the next level. And if that doesn't work, take it to their next level. Simple metrics.
And is whatever you're talking, is it only catering to the cities, or is it like I am from Vijayawada? Do you think in Vijayawada there should be a similar mechanism where I can use some kind of an interface where I lodge a complaint, follow up, and then do all of this, Ali?
I guess Vijayawada has a municipal corporation and they have a website too. I checked the website a couple of months ago, and the contact numbers of the officials were listed on the website. But the mechanism is not so robust or strong the way it is in Hyderabad, right? Hyderabad being a metro, the demands from public are different compared to what you have in Vizag. So probably the mechanism might not be that strong. So in these cases where you don't have a strong mechanism, what we can do is simple methodology that I spoke about in the beginning. Submit a request saying we have this problem, right? List out the problem, a simple application seeking action from the authorities. Wait for a week and file an RTI. Don't even give them more time. Just wait for a week, file an RTI, asking what action have you taken on my complaint? What action have you taken on my application? And you will see the system running smoothly. So if we do this multiple times, then what happens is that the friction that these people have, or that resistance that these people have towards doing their basic job, goes away completely, and they get into functioning completely. So multiple people have to start doing that. Like for example, they are not sweeping the streets in Vizag. All you need to do is just submit an application saying streets are not being swept every day, and we need your action. We need you guys to act immediately. Wait for 2-3 days, and don't even give a week's time, because this is a simple issue and that can be fixed immediately. Wait for 2-3 days and file an RTI asking them, what action have you taken on my complaint? Right. And then you will see the change happening.
Friends, NRI Samay is a non-profit independent alternate media from Los Angeles, USA, which brings positive stories from grassroots activists from all corners of India and across the world. NRI Samay does not rely on corporate funding, and our shows are commercial free. We only rely on your donations. Corporate funded media is driven by the TRP rating, and profits are blurring the distinction between news and entertainment. Why do our news channels talk so much about cricket, movies, accidents, popular figures' personal lives, babies of heroines, gossips, etc., while they should be covering the struggles of people, inequality in our society, rural issues, and border security issues? Why did our media raise some corruption crusaders to the sky on one day and shut them off completely when graft charges were raised on those corporate sponsors? Media relies so much on the corporate funding and government blessings that they cannot report independently. NRI Samay is different. We don't accept funds from any corporations, and hence our shows are commercial free. We completely rely on donations from you. Please consider donating to NRI Samay, and please go to nrisamay.com and donate generously. This is the only way together that we can continue NRI Samay. All donations are kept transparent on nrisamay.com. And if you have any questions, please write to nrisamay@gmail.com.
Excellent. So what are various complaints that you have filed? Something interesting that that you have filed, and then you've got responses. And the problem is, I've actually posted the flyer, wherein there is something called before, there is something called after. I saw it on your Facebook page and then posted it. But can you depict few examples of some of the things that were burning?
The first complaint, the first complaint was, when I started learning about this RTI and all that, parallelly while I was doing research on these things, I came across this portal of municipal corporation. So I launched my first complaint on repairing roads near my office. Okay, it's a very classic example. So I lodged a complaint. I waited for a week, 2 weeks, near Gachibowli, DLF building.
Okay.
I work in DLF, right? So I lost the complaint. The road was in a horrible state. I mean, it was like completely disaster. So I lost a complaint, waited for a week or two, no action taken. I called the concerned officer and he kept giving me excuses that, you know what, we are filing tender, we are doing this, we are trying to get sanction and all that. So 1 month gone, no action taken. So I sent a mail to the commissioner of municipal corporation asking him to act, and there was no response from him. So I waited for 2-3 days, no response on my email. I took it to the next level. Now this municipal corporation comes under Ministry of Urban Development, right? So I sent a mail to the Ministry of Urban Development secretary, the minister and his secretary and everybody, and the civil servants in that department. There was no response from them as well. So I forwarded the same mail to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, copying it to his secretary and all that. I waited for a week, no response from Chief Minister's office as well. Then I took a printout of all these mail chain and I filed an RTI with Chief Minister's office asking him, what action have you taken on my email?
Awesome.
Okay, so immediately the Chief Minister's principal secretary, he forwards my complaint to the Commissioner of GHMC asking him to act on it immediately and notify me and him both.
Awesome.
Okay, and the same week, the Chief Minister forwarded my mail on a Friday. By Saturday midnight, the road was laid. I mean, all these guys were waiting for somebody to just tell them that, you know what, this is what you need to do and do your job properly. So, I mean, in a single day, those guys have all the tenders ready, the approvals happening, and the funds being sanctioned and the road being laid. And Saturday night, by Saturday midnight, everything is done. Sunday morning, the concerned official calls me and says, sir, we worked till midnight last night and we have fixed the road. I hope you're happy now. I was like, yeah, I am happy, obviously.
Wow. So now, well, how many complaints did you file till that, Ali?
Including the one that I filed last night around midnight, it is somewhere around 139.
Whoa. Do you store this?
139, yeah.
Can we have a look at how do you do all of this and of course on Facebook I found a lot of things, but you
yes, you can go to the GHMC portal, right? So GHMC portal. So you go to ghmc.gov.in. So that's the GHMC's official website. On top right hand side you have an option called call center. That's the link that will take you to the grievance redressal portal. So once you go there, there are three options. One is to lodge a complaint or to check the status of an existing complaint. Now if you want to check the status of an existing complaint, you can search through different options like phone number, name. So if you enter my phone number, you'll get complaint details.
Excellent. I'm able to see that. Oh, okay. Just put your number.
Right. So that is with my new number. The old number that I had was 97014205561. You'll see some 137 complaints on this number.
Whoa. My staggering numbers, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Ali, this is incredible. Amazed. I'm amazed, really. So let's
and the complaint, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So the complaints are on different issues. I mean, it's not just, after getting that road repaired, right, it gave me a lot of confidence. I was like, wow, I mean, if I can push the Chief Minister's office to act on my complaint, I mean, compared to the bureaucracy that we have, I'm a nobody. I'm just another common man with no background or nothing. I mean, I'm just another man. But I was able to push the Chief Minister's office to issue instructions to a huge corporation like GHMC to act on my complaint, and they acted within 24 to 48 hours. And that gave me a huge confidence. So I moved on to some other simple issues, street lights. The street lights in front of DLF, they were not working for almost a year. I lodged a complaint, followed up a couple of times, and they repaired those street lights after a year. And I was like, okay, this is how it works. So I moved on to different issues. I started exploring more options. So I moved on to raising complaints in my neighborhood. First, I started with my office. Then I moved to the neighborhood area, street lights, garbage issues, streets not being swept, drainage overflows on road, and garbage not being lifted regularly, and all this. So it was like I find the problem immediately. I go to their website and lodge the complaint.
Does these departments have funding? I hear when I was talking about this mosquito problem to some of the authorities there, they said that they don't have funds. They went bankrupt, but funds are rolling in, right, Ali? And that's
yes. They do have proper fund allocation. It's just that when they don't want to do your work, they come up with this excuse that I don't have funds. So take it to their next level, and the funds keep pouring in.
And who's responsible? We have ward councillors, municipal councillors. We talk about so many of these people being elected, right? And of course, we had a broken system. There were no ward elected ward members and GHMC. I don't know. GHMC elections happened, of course, after 2009 elections.
Right.
But whose responsibility is this? You as a citizen is definitely closing that loop in democracy. But who is solely responsible for this? An MLA or a ward councillor? Who's responsible, Ali?
See, ideally, the corporator should be taking care of these things. However, these corporators and these MLAs, they are actually, I think these people have been created to block our access to the system. What I think is each one of us should directly engage with the system rather than going through these politicians who have their own motives, right? So in last 1 year, that 139 complaints that I lodged, never ever I approached the local corporator or the MLA. I engaged with the system directly. I interacted with the officials directly. So there is no need of these guys. Yeah, so a couple of times I got the backlash from them as well. Why don't you speak to your corporator? I said, if my corporator was doing his job, probably I would not have to call you guys, right? Ideally. So if we start engaging with the system directly, these politicians become irrelevant. I mean, we should completely reduce our dependency on these politicians. We should completely isolate them out. They are actually the blockades in the system that we have. Engage with the government directly. Engage with the public authority directly. You have the tools like RTI that empower you to engage with the system directly. So engage with them and bypass these barricades that you have, like corporator, MLA, MP. These guys are a barricade in between you and the public authority. That's what I feel.
But when you do such things, this guy is always upset that somebody else is taking up my job. Of course, he doesn't do it, but there's some citizen who's responding, and some citizen who's taking up this initiative. He would come in here. Did something like that happen? Like a corporator thinking, what the hell is happening? I didn't do anything. I didn't take any initiative, and these roads are coming on its own. He should be baffled, right? Did you get a chance to?
Probably. No, I haven't seen the corporator since he was elected. I mean, I have never seen him, never met him, never seen him, doing inspections or anything. See, most of these corporators are just the elected, nominated guys by the MLAs, favorable guys, right? So they don't have kind of hold on the system, or they don't have that responsibility.
So you're saying
there is no point in getting these guys on board and all that.
Right. You're saying that there is already a bureaucratic system in place that can get things done. It surprises me why in the first place are these, maybe just for some positions created, just to have, elected people there for no reason. I don't know why this is. If authorities are solving these problems, if GHMC is intervening and then settling down these issues, and the corporator is not visible, you're saying that in all these 139 cases, there's no corporator who looped back with you asking, hey, this is my job, I should have got this done, and then...
Right.
Surprising. All right. So now let's shift a little bit on this road accidents, because I hear always that there are road accidents causes due to negligence, due to improper maintenance of roads, especially potholes. And we hear of these celebrity sons and daughters also losing their lives, right? The way things have happened. But Any statistics on that front? What's happening? Because I don't think anybody's childhood would have gone ahead without seeing a pothole in their own street, right? So,
see, I do not have any statistics on that, but I'll tell you one simple thing, right? It's the responsibility of every individual that you come across a problem, you report it immediately. That's what I do. I mean, couple of complaints, they are not either from my neighborhood or from my office area. A couple of them are, like sometimes I go to watch a movie, like I'm going to PVR to watch a movie, and on the way I found a problem. Like either it's a bad road or potholes or something. I raise a complaint immediately. Right? So each one of us should start using the available mechanisms to start engaging with the system. If more and more people start engaging with the system, right, more and more action will be taken by these authorities to fix the problems. I mean, it's the ignorance or the negligence of the citizens that has created this kind of environment where simple issues take 6 months, 1 year to get fixed. But if each one of us starts engaging with the system in an effective way, using different tools, could be grievance redressal mechanism or RTI, could be anything. But if each one of us starts engaging, right, so these simple issues don't pop up at all. There will be a proactive measure or mechanism from the authorities itself. As of now, what I see is it's a reactive mechanism where there is a problem, citizens go and complain, that's when the authorities act. But if every one of us, starts interacting with these people, engaging with them regularly, there will be a proactive mechanism. So now I'll tell you one classic example. So since I started raising regular complaints in my neighborhood for street lights, these days the guy once in a week, the guy goes on inspection in my neighborhood. He knows that, okay, if there is no street light working, if there is a street light not working, this guy will raise an online complaint. So better let me go and inspect the street lights and fix them before this guy raises a complaint. Right. So the local electrician, right, he's proactively fixing them on a week-to-week basis, because earlier when he did not fix, I escalated till the level of commissioner. So he understands that, okay, there is one guy in this neighborhood who can reach to the commissioner directly if I don't work. Let me just save my job.
Right. Now, we talk of RTI. We also should talk about threats, right? Any threats, anything of that nature for you, Ali?
Well, the threat happens when you target highly influential or powerful individuals. No, never. It's a simple concept. Never ever target individuals. No, if you have the idea of filing RTI, then file the RTI on a public authority. So target the general public authority or the government department. Never file an RTI against an individual. And if you are trying to file, I never had any threats. I mean, in last 1 year, I never had any threats from anybody. So because I carefully try to avoid targeting powerful individuals. Right? There are powerful individuals in every area or every department, whatever it is. So never try to file an RTI with regards to a powerful individual. Instead, try to target the department that should fix that problem.
Okay.
Right. So and try to avoid using your own address. File an RTI using a friend's address or a post box or your office address. That way you can maintain your confidentiality.
But right now there is no confidential way of filing an RTI, right?
Ideally, yes. I guess there is no confidential way. I mean, you cannot find anonymous RTI, but there are a couple of portals online where you go and submit a request and you pay them a nominal fee of some 70, 80 rupees, and they file an RTI on your behalf, and they follow up with the department if you want to maintain confidentiality. Right. And they do the entire groundwork, and they give you the result.
Right. Online.
I think we can go. Yeah. So I don't remember the exact website, but there are a couple of portals where you go and submit a request asking them to file an RTI on your behalf. Right. Those people file the RTI, they do the groundwork, and it's like anonymous. So they do the groundwork and they give you the reply.
Right.
So here your confidentiality is retained.
Got it. I've seen one online RTI.com which recently came up. I don't know how effective it is, but I've seen online RTI.com for
Yes, I guess they are
99 rupees
charging 90 rupees.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
99 rupees or 100 rupees.
Yeah.
I think it's a simple amount
Yeah.
to maintain your confidentiality.
Exactly.
Should not be a big problem.
Exactly. And before wrapping up, Ali, just a quick question. Full-time work, you work for a company, and
Yes.
it's full-time. It's not part-time. You work full-time, and also you don't call yourself an activist, but I definitely get a sense that you are in that mode, and I treat you as an activist. Of course, even if you deny that, but so activism is not easy, right? The issues are random, the follow-ups are intense, responses are unusual,
Right.
and how do you balance it out, Ali?
Well, see, the biggest advantage that I have now is I'm single, so I have ample time. Right? Yes, that's a boon. As of now, I'm single, and I don't stay with my family here. I am not from Hyderabad, right? So my family stays in RR district. My father is a farmer there, so my family stays there. I stay alone here. So I have a lot of time, the time that could have been probably spent with the family after the office, I guess that time is available to me, right? Unlike other individuals who have the household work after coming back from office. So I don't have that, so I have a lot of bandwidth after my office or on weekends to take up these issues. So that's how I try to balance. And then the technology has made things very easy. Everything is accessible on your phone. If you have a smartphone and you have a good network connection, you have access to information from wherever you are. I mean, you don't have to be sitting at the computer, right?
Any online apps for any apps for RTIs and other things which are interesting?
Yes, there are a couple of apps. There is an app by RTI India. It is an excellent app, and it is a good resource material for people who want to understand how RTI is working, because they keep rolling up information like blogs and all that suggestions. RTI India has an awesome app for Android. I'm not sure if they have an app for iPhone, the iOS or the RTI India.
RTI India, for excellent. Okay.
Right. That's the app they have.
Perfect.
So, I guess that's how I'm able to balance the challenges that people regularly have with respect to the time availability, time constraints, and other obligations. I guess I have the bandwidth, so I'm able to do it. Probably if the bandwidth shrinks, then I don't know how it will shape up. But as of now, since I have the bandwidth, I'm able to do it.
Excellent. Anything is learning. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Ali, really, really thank you for your time. Sharing a lot of these experiences. It's a personal learning for me as well. Thank you very much for making it today.
You're welcome.
There you go, friends. That is Power of a Citizen in Democracy. There is Ali Hussaini. And completing the full circle democracy is all about people, institutions, and politics. People here, person, Ali Hussaini, a person who's reaching out institutions and requesting them through various tools like RTI and also grievance redressal mechanisms that are existing right now.
Yes.
And making the institutions work, and also in turn politics is also the one thing that makes democracy full circle. And as and when citizens become accountable, citizens become very active in the public life and take causes, it is definitely going to make democracy complete. And of course, all right, so yes. Ali, it's an excellent conversation, pleasure talking to you, and I hope a lot of our listeners will definitely realize the power of a citizen in our democracy, and ours is the largest democracy, and we can definitely make things work. You have proven a point that things do work if citizens take initiative. Thank you very much for making it to our show today, Ali.
Sure. Thank you so much, Srikanth. Appreciate your time.
So friends, if you want to listen to our shows, you can just go to YouTube, youtube.com/NRI Samay. You can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/NRI Samay, Twitter, twitter.com/NRI Samay. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in today to NRI Samay. This is Srikanth signing off. Thank you. Bye.
Friends, if you liked today's show, please go to youtube.com/NRI Samay and click on the subscribe button. You will get notified every time we publish a new show. And you can also like us on our social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Friends, if you liked today's show, please go to youtube.com/NRI Samay and click on the subscribe button. You will get notified every time we publish a new show. And you can also like us on our social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.